Hello everybody and welcome to the midweek market update from Smack the Markets for the 23rd of October. So far this week, we've had a very light news schedule and consequently not a great deal has changed. There's certainly been not a great deal of change in the big economic issues, certainly where the markets are concerned anyway. Brexit, still no real final conclusion or final sort of way forward with that, and consequently sterling and the euro have been sort of fairly quiet on that front. Again, with the US and China trade sort of discussions, continued sort of positive news flow coming from China and the US on that. So again, no sort of real big surprises, and that's sort of progressing along quite nicely. So let's take a look at a few markets here that we discussed on Monday and a few more that we're taking a look at through the remainder of the week. Now, if we come and take a look at the Dow first of all, again, not really a big change here from Monday. So the market's still sitting underneath the 26,800 price point here on the weekly chart, as we can see. That's that sort of key decision point area. Coming down to the daily, we can see a little bit more detail as to what's been happening here and the key sort of decision point areas within this market. So 26,800 was the sort of price point that we were looking at the beginning of the week. Above that, we've got 27,000. Below that, we've got 26,500. At the moment, the market's sort of broken through, couldn't hold above 26,800 and now sort of slightly underneath. And if we take a look at this on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that in a bit more detail. So the range here that we started off the week with has now got a little bit wider. We're now looking at 26,700 to 26,900. These sort of price points again reflect back in previous support and resistance structures within the market. But again, above the level here, we've got 27, and below we've got that 26,500. So sort of nice sort of size trading windows either side of this sort of range where the market's sort of contained in at the moment. So from my perspective, I'm more looking and preferring a breakout to the long side, but let's see how the market sort of decides. We've got fairly decent sort of size intraday opportunities either way, whichever way this market decides to go. Now, we come and have a look at platinum, and we'll have a look at a few commodities actually, because again, no real change on this sort of throughout the course of the week. So where we were looking on Monday was this 900 level. We're looking at opportunities above 900, looking for the market to break this, and for trading opportunities up here to 930. We can see at the moment that the market hasn't really moved. It's sort of still sitting underneath that 900 level, although it is starting to push up towards it now. So still liking this towards the end, sort of the second half of the week, looking at opportunities above 900 and looking for that sort of trading window up there towards 930. Now, if we take a look at some of the other metals as well, you'll see here that gold is also looking sort of fairly similar. We've got the range here in on this 4-hour time frame, but again, the level here on gold is that 1.500 level, and that's the sort of range that we're in at this moment in time. Out of all of them, I prefer the sort of technical chart structure on the platinum market, so that's my sort of preference there. Now, if we take a look at Aussie Yen was one of the markets here that we were looking at for long opportunities on Monday. We're looking for this market to sort of push higher and get through this sort of level that we have here on the weekly chart. At the time, the market was above the level of sort of around 74, sort of 50, 7,500. What we've seen sort of since then is we've seen sort of weakness coming in, and the market has now sort of broken back underneath that price point. You can see these markets are sort of rolling over at this moment. Some big key levels around here at the moment. So coming down to the daily, you can see where the market is at this moment in time. We've got a couple of levels around here, around sort of 74 to around sort of 74 sort of 40 area is a couple of sort of structure points. So we're waiting to see how the market reacts here. Again, if we can get above these levels, then we can also start to look for opportunities to the long side. Now, from another currency perspective, let's take a quick look at euro dollar. A lot of these markets have had rather narrow ranges throughout the sort of first half of this week. Euro dollar here has been advancing, is advanced on the weakness of the US dollar that we've seen coming in over the past few weeks, but also on the optimism of from a Brexit, a successful Brexit deal between the UK and the EU. Now, what's sort of happened since the beginning of this week is that the market's just sort of lost momentum. It's sort of dropping back here. Now, from a technical perspective, this market could always have done with a bit of a pullback. It was looking a bit sort of stretched. And we've got another sort of key structure point here around that key 111 level. So very strong and very sort of good psychological level for this particular market. And the market at the moment is sort of slipping back into there. So even a pullback into 111 could just be a nice sort of technical pullback for this market. Now, from a technical perspective, the 8-hour chart and the 4-hour chart sort of look sort of quite nice back into those sort of price points. Let me just sort of mark those in. So 111 around here on the 8-hour chart. You can see that's right in those sort of moving average sort of levels. Also, it's a very sort of strong level, technical level, as we know. So that again is sort of quite a nice area for the market to sort of pull back. The only sort of caveat I would say, trading on euro markets, trading on Great British Pound markets are susceptible to sort of news flow that we're hearing and how the developments are from any sort of Brexit negotiations that are going on at the moment. So just sort of bear that in mind on those markets. But that's where we are at the moment, partway through the week. I certainly hope it helps and look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye for now.